Hi and welcome to the very first Freedom Friday from Freedom Alliance Party. These are videos, a series of videos that I and the executive team from the party will take you through, a variety of topics. Currently we're going to talk about policies, the first series. Might be a bit of a dry subject, but we're going to try and make it a bit more lively, make it relevant to the real world, explain why we have those policies, what they are. You can read all about them anyway on freedomalliance.co.uk, so we won't be doing it verbatim whatsoever. What we will do is bring it to life and say what it actually means. So let's dive in, shall we? So what is Freedom Alliance's defence policy when you break it down? Well, there are 6 key principles. The first one is non-interventionism and prioritising peace. The second is an end to militarised foreign policy. Third, defence, not offence. Number 4 is no to war profiteering. Number 5, truth and transparency. And then number 6, veterans' dignity and support. Now, each one of these we can break down, and they're all in detail on the website, freedomalliance.co.uk. So read through it at your leisure. So what I'm going to talk about now is the key aspects of those and what they actually mean in the real world. Spoiler alert, we wouldn't send £3 billion a year to Ukraine for a war that has nothing to do with NATO. Number 1 is non-interventionism and prioritising peace, not war. Some might call that a bit radical. We call it very sensible. We believe wars are pointless, they are a failure in diplomacy or an act of aggression to gather resources, be they human resources, mineral resources, as we've seen with things like land grabs with Venezuela and other areas. Second, the end to militarised foreign policy. The foreign policy that is based on wars, on land grabs, on the expansionism of NATO and the like. So we would be against that. Number 3 is defence, not offence. If you consider the number of wars that the US of A has actually been involved in since 1980, some might say, started numerous of these as well, but just check out this amount, a large amount of wars that they've been involved in, and we think defence is the best way forward. So we would advocate a strong military, but not an offensive one. We would also want a fully capable military, and that would get back to stringent checks and training for people, so we have capable personnel supported by good resources, and we have a military to be proud of once again. Fourth is truth and transparency. It might seem an odd thing when it comes to a defence policy, but what we're talking about here is that if we do have to go to war, it has to be fully justified, and we would want it to be Parliament who agree across the board on this, then that it is the correct thing to do to end up in a war situation. Fifth is no to war profiteering. We know that there is the military-industrial complex which advocates for wars, sells the military hardware for wars, and also the people that bankroll both sides. They're the people who benefit from wars, not the ordinary people, certainly not the people who have been invaded or even those people who are being defended. It just doesn't seem right at all that profit should be made out of any human beings being killed. Finally, and probably most importantly, we would advocate for veterans' dignity and support. Now this means that if veterans have come back having potentially given their lives in service for the country, and they have health problems, they should be prioritised. If they have housing issues, we should do our utmost to get them houses, and this should be in front of other people who have served their country. We should have a duty of care to whatever they need when they come back.